What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions, and I will be doing the predictions for UFC Vegas 15. Curtis Blaydes versus Derek Lewis. This is a pretty good card, if I say myself, and I'm super excited. But yeah, let's get to it. Nate Maness versus Luke Sanders. Nate comes in 12-1, fights out of Kentucky, age 29, height 5'10", and reaches 72. Luke is 13-3, fights out of Tennessee, age 34, height 5'6", and reaches 71. Nate's most recent win was against Johnny Munoz Jr., and his most recent loss was to Taylor Lepis. And Luke's most recent one was against Henan Barao, the GOAT. Man, he really was the GOAT when I was growing up, though. At least for bantamweights. But his most recent loss was to Rani Yahir. This is a really good fight. You know, Luke Sanders is he's been around for a minute. I know he doesn't have a big record, or I mean, I wouldn't say big, a long record. But yeah, you know, I've seen him around since like 2014 or whatever. And I remember he finished just one guy with this. It wasn't like a downward knee or what. It was a weird knee. The guy went for a takedown. He kneed him. It was kind of like, it was a little low key illegal, almost like Jeremy Stevens, Josh Emmett kind of. But yeah, you know, he has decent takedown defense. But this Nate kid, man, he has good power. He has good takedowns and he has good pressure. I think this is a good test for him, but I think he's gonna overwhelm Luke. Luke's 34. He's a little older, and I think Nate's gonna take him out. I think Nate takes him out. I go Nate by decision. He has a lot of, he's fought a lot of good guys. Well, I wouldn't say he fought a lot of good guys, but he's fought guys where he finishes them. But I think Luke is like a little. He's good enough to, he's tough. He's a tough guy. So I think he sticks around via decision. Next fight, Bill Algeo versus Spike Carlyle. Bill comes in 13-5, fights out of Pennsylvania, age 31, height 6 foot, reach 73.5. Spike is 9-2, fights out of San Diego. Ooh, we got a California boy, man. This is gonna be hard for me. Y'all know me. Age 27, height 5'8", reach 71. Bill comes in. Oh no, not Bill. Bill's most recent one was against Tim Dooling, and his most recent loss was against Ricardo Lamas. And Spike's most recent one was against Alan Cruz, and his most recent loss was to Billy Carantillo. This is a good fight. This is a great fight. Both guys are coming off losses, but losses they didn't look bad at. I know some people thought Spike won his fight against Billy. I wasn't paying too much attention to it, so I thought it was a weird fight. I thought it was so weird. I thought I would have gave them both L's because it was so stupid. You know, Billy hit him. I guess he's allowed to do it, but he hit him right behind the head or whatever. Right when Spike, turned his back to him. It was such a dumb fight. But Bill, on the other hand, had a great performance against Ricardo Lamas, and it was late notice. But he did a lot of things that pissed me off. Where he was kind of mocking Ricardo, and I was like, "Come on, man!" And then in the second round, he rocked Ricardo, but thank God, Lamas came in there, gave him that old school wrestling pressure, that old school ground and pound, and put it on him, and took him out of there. Well, he didn't take him out, but he kind of won the fight in the third, and basically gave himself the decision. But I saw a lot of good things from Bill. He was really good in a lot of areas where Spike is good at, in terms of in the clinch near the cage and basically the MMA wrestling. He was very good at defending takedowns. He has a really good Muay Thai kickboxing style. His striking is good. I wouldn't say he gets tired in the striking range, but he did get tired in the wrestling. But Spike gasses out. I know Spike is gonna probably be a favorite in this one, and I'm gonna take Bill Algeo. I was really impressed against Ricardo Lamas. I mean, he almost beat him, and I guess you could say Ricardo Lamas was aging and degrading, but I think Ricardo, he can still beat a lot of these cats, and I think he does beat Spike. I know some people might call me crazy, but I think Bill Algeo is going to take this by third round TKO, just like Spike being tired and stuff like that. I did not like his gassing, unless the only way I see Spike winning this fight is probably a first round KO, if he can get that. But yeah, next fight, Amir Albazis. And oh man, give me I'm sorry if I butchered this guy's name. Zhalgas Zhumagulov. I think that's how you say his name. Amir comes in 13-1, fights out of England, age 27, height 5'5", reaches 68. Zhalgas is 13-4, fights out of Kazakhstan, age 32, height 5'4", and reaches 66. Amir's most recent win was against Malcolm Gordon. He's going to be up in this card. And his most recent loss was to Jose Torres. Zhalgas' most recent win was against Ali Bogdanov, and his most recent loss was to Rulian Paiva. This is a good fight. Amir's really, he's another guy with really good wrestling pressure, and Zhalgas is, it's almost like it's like grappler versus striker. I think Zhalgas has some decent grappling skills, but usually likes to keep it on the feet, keeps that like high pressure. And it's a good test for Amir, but I think Amir's wrestling is gonna come in here, and I think he's just, we've seen Zhalgas in his last fight, and he dealt with that kind of UFC maybe jitters or whatever for his first fight, but I think Amir gets this done by decision. I really do. But I'll say one thing: Zhalgas has great leg kicks. He has great pressure, great high kicks. For someone his size, so he might. I don't know. Is he cool with the Rachmanov guy, or whatever, the one that beat Alex Oliveira? I don't know. This is a closer one than what people are giving credit for. What I see on Tapology is like it's insane, but it is what it is. Next fight, Sean Woodson versus Jonathan Pearce. This is a good one, man. Sean comes in 7-1, fights out of Missouri, age 28, 6'2", height 6'2", reaches 79. Jonathan is 9-4, fights out of Tennessee, age 28, height of 6 foot, and reaches 71. God damn, the reach advantage is insane, though. Oh my God, he has an 8-inch reach advantage. That's nuts. Sean Woodson's most recent one was against Kyle Bachnek, and his most recent loss was to Julian Rosa. Jonathan, his most recent win was against Jacob Rosales, and his most recent loss was against Joe Lozon. This is a good one. I think this should be a pick'em. Okay. I think Jonathan Pearce is a really good fighter. He shows it. It's a little different, but from the last fight. But Jonathan's a pressure guy. We saw what Sean, in Sean's last fight where he lost, where he kind of dealt with problems with a pressure guy. And, Julian Rosa, where Julian just did not care, took the shots, and just kept coming at him. Obviously, Jonathan, he dealt with another grappler like Joe Lozon that gave him problems and gave him that legitimate ground. That shit was nasty. What he did to his shoulder, bro, that shit was sick. But I kind of want to go Jonathan Pearce based on that. But Sean Woodson's, his boxing accolades, being, Golden Gloves champion, I think at 200 pounds or something crazy like that. And his fight IQ, is great in terms of like what he knows, and he's not just a boxer, man. He has good kicks, he has good Muay Thai skills. He has some grappling, like he's learning. So that's what I mean by fight IQ. I don't mean like he's shown good fight IQ in the octagon, but the way he trains and stuff like that. So I like that. And I just like his style, man. I really do. And he is a weird build, but I think he learned from his last fight. Jonathan Pearce, I think this is gonna go by decision. I think Woodson's his jab, man. Man, the guy can have the best jab in the game. I think at 145 he's gonna be a problem. He is. Next fight, Mudaerji. I know copper comparison. He's gonna correct me on this one. Hey man, help me out with these names, homie. But versus Malcolm Gordon. I'm just gonna say Sue. Sue comes in 12-4, fights out of China, age 24, height 5'8", and reaches 72. Malcolm's 12-4, also fights out of Canada, age 30, height 5'7", reaches 70. Sue's most recent one was against Andre Sukumta, and his most recent loss is to Louis Smolka. Malcolm's most recent loss was to Amir Albazi, and his most recent one was against Yanni Shabodov. This is a really, really good fight. I'm a big fan of Malcolm Gordon. Obviously, I ended up watching some more tape on this kid, Mudaerji. Sue's like his striking's really good. He's really fast. I did not see how he deal with a grappler like Malcolm Gordon. That's a question I'm wondering. I did not get to see the Smolka fight, but you know, Smolka has decent grappling. I'd say. I think Malcolm Gordon. I think he's gonna take this. I think he takes this. I'm gonna go Malcolm Gordon by second round submission. I think his grappling skills will surprise people. And next up, man, a classic right here. The best fight of the century. Rachel Ostovich versus Gina Mazany. Man, two world-class females right here. Guess what the records are, though? Rachel comes in 4-5. Oh, my God. And Gianna comes in 6-4. Bro, oh, my God. How do I break down this fight? Rachel, I think, fights at Hawaii. She's 29 years old, height 5'3", recent 62. Gianna's been fighting at Las Vegas. I've been seeing a lot of her training clips. She's been doing a lot of stuff in the Apex. Age 32, height 5'8", a reach to 68. Oh, my God. So she does have the reach advantage and the height advantage. Rachel's most recent loss was to Paige Van Zandt, somebody that's not employed by the UFC right now. And her most recent one was against Crony Giovanni. I think that's how you say that girl's name. It was on Tough, right? It was a while back. And Gina's most recent what's it called? Win was against Valerie Barney, and her most recent loss was to Julia Villa. I don't know. Like, I want to go Rachel Ostovich because she's a good looking girl, but I don't think she's gonna win this fight. Honestly, I think Gina should win this fight, but you never know with these females. It's like sometimes they decide to be fighters, and sometimes they decide to just chill in the octagon and grapple. And like I'm not saying there's nothing. I'm not against them wrestling and any of that, but I just don't know who's gonna show up. I just really don't. I think Gianna takes this by decision. Yeah, I'm gonna go that. I'm done with this fight. Next fight, Martin Day versus Anderson dos Santos. Martin comes at 8-4, fights out of Hawaii, age 32, height 5'10", and reaches 70. Anderson's 20-8. Fights out of Brazil, age 35, height 5'5", and reaches 70. Martin's most recent win was against Brady Hong in 2018. And his most recent loss is to Davey Grant in a great fucking fight, by the way. I'll just say that. Anderson's most recent loss was to Andre Ewell, and his most recent win was against Alejandro Cateno. As much as I would go Anderson in this fight based on that. Yeah, he does have 20 fights, 20 wins. He has more experience, but this is one of these things where, the records can be deceiving sometimes. Anderson just did not look that good against Andre Ewell. Andre Ewell's a good fighter. I will not say he's a bad fighter, but yeah, it is what it is. I was really impressed with Martin Day. I thought he was winning that fight until he got knocked out, basically. Actually, it was 1-1 going in the third, but the reach is the same. But I just to see the way how Anderson took shots from Andre Ewell, I think Day is gonna have a comeback performance against him, and I think he gets it done by decision. Next fight, Josh Pershawn, I think that's how you say his last name, versus Parker Porter. Josh comes in 13-3. Fights at Bringington, Michigan, age 31, height 6'4", reach 79. Parker Porter's 10-6. The GOAT fights at Connecticut, age 35, height 6 foot, and reach 75. Josh's most recent one was against Chad Johnson. His most recent loss was to Brett Martin. Parker, his most recent one was against Daryl Bronstrop, and his most recent loss was to Chris Daukaus. I wasn't. Yeah, I picked Chris to beat Parker Porter. I did not know why Parker Porter was the favorite. He looked slow. He didn't look like that good of a grappler that could, impose his will on somebody. Even though he has done it, but it didn't look like grappling somebody couldn't overcome. I was thinking about going Parker Porter for a second because I don't know if I am all sold on this kid Josh Parisian, or however you say his last name. But I just, common sense hit my head, and I was just like, man, this guy looked like a complete fool against Chris Daukaus. Made him look like a nobody. I understand, he had that other performance where he knocked out what's his name, Nascimento, right? I think that's the Brazilian's name that he knocked out in Fight Island. But it was like he had Parker Porter rolling all over the place, man. I can't go with you when you're rolling all over the place in the octagon like that. So I gotta go Josh via probably like a trashy heavyweight decision, man. I'm just happy. Hopefully these guys aren't co-main event. Ashlee Evans Smith versus Norma Dumont. Ashlee comes in 6-4, fights out of California, age 33, height 5'8", reached 67.5. Most recent one was against Beck Rollins, and the most recent loss was to Andrew Lee. Norma's 4-1, fights out of Brazil, age 30, height 5'7", reached 67. Her most recent one was against Marina Moraes, and her most recent loss was to Megan Anderson. Decent female fight. I think Ashlee Evans Smith should win this fight. Norma got knocked the fuck out, but Norma can get it though. I will say that she's not a bad looking girl. That's about how much I can break this down for Norma. She doesn't have enough experience in there, but it is what it is. I think Smith's experience. I don't know, man. Smith hasn't been looking that good as well, and we didn't get to see enough of Dumont in the Megan Anderson fight, so she might have some wrestling in her bag, and maybe she could do something there. But I think Evans is a decent favorite to go with, but it is what it is. Next fight, Miguel Baeza versus Takashi Sato. I'm super psyched. This is a great fight. Miguel comes in 9-0, fights out of Florida, age 28, height 6'2", reach 74.5. Takashi's 13-3, fights out of Florida too. We'll talk more about that. Age 30, height 5'10", and reaches 73. Miguel's most recent one was against Matt Brown. He's undefeated, so he doesn't have any losses. Takashi's most recent one was against Jason Witt via KO. Everyone was talking about Jason Witt like he was the GOAT, bro. It was wild, man, how people were talking about him after he beat up that one dude, that 7-Eleven worker, like that Safeway employee or whatever that they put in the octagon with him. Actually, I don't want to disrespect him. I just forgot his name, y'all. I'm not trying to disrespect him. But, yeah, Takashi Sato killed that guy with a beautiful hook. And his most recent loss is against Bilal Muhammad. He got choked out. Bilal Muhammad is a ranked welterweight right now. I think number 13. No shame in that. I'm seeing a lot of people going with Miguel Baeza. I think Miguel looked good against Matt Brown, but Matt Brown is he's 60 years old in MMA years. I don't know why people were like... but this is an interesting fight. It's two Florida gyms. I think MMA Masters, where Colby Covington and Ricardo Lamas train, versus... Now, I don't know what they're calling themselves anymore, but right now, they're calling themselves Stanford MMA. I know them as Hard Knocks or Black Zillions, but they keep changing their names 24/7. But yeah, this is a good fight. This is the third one. This is the third fight I'm probably anticipated for. This is an awesome fight. I'm going to go with Takashi Sato. I think the experience... I'm not sure why Tapology thinks Miguel Baeza is going to beat this guy. I want to see if he's the actual favorite in terms of betting odds, but I assume not. If you just look at the records, you look at the competition, I think Takashi Sato should win this. Miguel looked really sloppy against Matt. He was going, man, I didn't like that. I'm gonna go Takashi Sato via third round TKO. I think he's gonna put it on this kid. And next up, man, I didn't even want to talk about this fight, bro, but I have to, man. I have to because I love y'all and because I told y'all, man. After Smith lost to Rakic, I didn't want to talk about him for the rest of the year. But this idiot, I swear to God, got himself in another fight. Anthony Smith versus Devin Clark. Anthony comes in 33-6, is the number 6 light heavyweight in the world. I don't know why he's that highly ranked. Last time I checked, he was number 7, but they be hating on that rankings app. You see how the way they've been treating Leon. Fights out in Nebraska, age 32, height 6'4", and a reach of 76. Devin's 12-4, fights out in New Mexico, age 30, height 6 foot, and a reach of 75. And Smith's most recent one was against Alexander Gustafsson. That hurts my soul to say that. I wish I could say somebody, bro. I wish I could say maybe like Shogun, but I can't. His most recent loss was to Alexander Rakic, the GOAT. I'm just playing. Devin Clark's most recent win was against Alonzo Menifield, and his most recent loss was against Ryan Spahn. Anthony Smith I think he's been smoking crack. I don't know what's going on with him, bro. He keeps fighting, bro. Oh my God. I think Devin Clark was supposed to fight somebody else, man. But this crackhead wanted to jump in after getting destroyed like that. Bro, the guy was talking like, oh, I gotta go back to like heavyweight. I'm in a bad place right now. Bah, bah, bah. Man, kids, here's the message. Don't just be a good person. And I got nothing. I used to be a really big fan of Smith, right? When I saw what he did against, I first fight Rashad Evans, then I saw him fight Shogun, then I saw him fight Volkan Ozdemir, and I told everyone, I like Volkan, but I told everyone, I think Smith is going to beat this guy, and then he did it, and then he gets the title shot, and I was kind of rooting for him against John Jones. I think I still have it. I think I don't want to admit it, but I actually picked Smith to go beat John because I hate John Jones' guts. He rubbed me the wrong way after the Gus film when he kind of got like, it got to his head low key, I think, and I picked him to beat Gus. I thought he could do it, just an underdog way. I didn't think he was better than Gus. Like a lot of people don't realize, when you pick somebody, you're not assuming that they're gonna be the GOAT or something. You just see a hole that they can take advantage of. And I saw that Gus likes to go for a lot of dumb takedowns, and I thought maybe Smith could take advantage of that, and he ended up doing that in the 4th. But and then he had the feud, and I like Luke Rockhold, so maybe that's where it comes from. But the feud with Luke, I didn't have a problem with it. But when Luke lost to Jan Blachowicz, and that guy started talking mess, right, and making jokes about Luke's chin, and I think his jaw, and about an injury. I'm like, bro, come on, man. You don't like. I get fans can say, but like him, I'm like, man, have some respect. You're an athlete, but you saw it, man. Karma got his ass. He was talking so much mess about Luke's jaw. Glover took all his teeth. Every single tooth came out of that man's mouth. And that was pure, and I picked Glover. And I'll never let y'all forget that. Y'all better pick Glover too. I don't want to hear nothing, man. And I took a lot of pride in that. I don't know why, but that one I take pride because I did not like that fool. And that was pure karma. That was beautiful. That was like, I watch that once a month just to remind myself how, man, Glover is a goddamn saint, for doing that. But, what's it called? Then he fought Rakic. Like an idiot. He fought. Like, that's why I think he's been smoking crack, right? He fought Rakic. And then, and then he takes this fight with Devin Clark. I think this is more winnable for him. But Devin Clark's a good wrestler. He's hit or miss. But here's the thing I like about Devin. He trains at New Mexico. He trains at Albuquerque with John Wicklejohn, with John Jones, right? And I think John can get him ready for this fight. And I'm going to keep it going. I told y'all, I don't fuck with Smith for the rest of this year until I got to watch some interviews. So I might change my pick. But I'm never going to, I don't like doing that. Whenever I change my pick, it ends up being wrong. So I'm not going to change my pick. But I will watch some interviews to see if Smith is a little more humble. Even during the Rakic build-up, he was talking mess about Rakic. Like, you can watch my recap video. Like, I gave y'all some proof on there. But, like, I think Devin Clark can beat him. I honestly do. This guy was not that good of a middleweight. He was very opportunistic, light heavyweight. I'll say that. He took advantage of his moments, and he got the W's. I won't take it away from him, but he did what he had to do. I think Devin Clark can do the same thing here. I think Devin, if he can hold him in positions that Glover was able to hold him, that Rakic was able to hold him in positions, the guy talks so much craziness about his fucking jiu-jitsu. It is what it is. Like, I think Clark can beat him. I really do. I honestly do. I really do. But next up, sorry for the interruption. My computer's been jacking up. But next up, Renato Moicano versus Rafel Fiziev. Renato comes in 14 and 3-1. He has one draw. Fights out of Brazil, age 31, height 5'11", and reach 72. Rafel's 8-1. Fights out of Thailand, age 27, height 5'8", and reach 71. Most recent was against Mark Takashi, and his most recent losses to Magomed Mustaev. Renato's most recent one was against Damir Hadzovic, and his most recent loss was the Korean Zombie. This is a good fight. I think I picked Rafel to beat Mark Takashi. His Muay Thai is great, but I don't know about his takedown defense. But those guys in Tiger Muay Thai, yeah, I think that's the gym he trains at, are fucking, man, they're savages over there, and they train like savages. And Peter Yan does some of his training over there, and I think he has good takedown defense. We're gonna see when he fights Aljamain Sterling, but Volkanovski does a lot of his training over there. I hear a lot of guys, they praise them. They think they're a great gym, and I think they have all the equipment to make a great MMA fighter. So I think Rafel does most of his training over there. In the Magomed fight, he got kind of caught, so you don't really know. Mago's more of a grappler. But I think Moicano is a killer, man. I think Moicano, man, I don't know why he's getting this fight. I'm not saying Rafel's not a good fighter, but Renato deserves a ranked opponent, man. The guy used to be ranked number fucking 5 at featherweight. I know Korean Zombie took him out, and Aldo took him out, but he was ranked number 8 or 7 or something like that. And I guess he couldn't make the weight no more or whatever. It was killing his brain or something like that. His jiu-jitsu is, I think, world class, and I think he's gonna get this done by decision. I think takedown after takedown after takedown, he's gonna put it on him. He's not gonna be nonstop wrestling pressure on him. And a lot of people have been on this Rafel kid since the little fight with Mark Takashi. He did like the Matrix thing. I think Moicano's he's gonna handle some hype. But yeah, next up to the main event. Curtis Blaydes versus Derek Lewis. Good fight. I like the fight. I did do a breakdown, so go check that out. I'm gonna keep it simple, keep it short. I'm gonna surprise some people. I'm gonna go Lewis, 4th round TKO. There's a lot of reasons why. I think Curtis is super overrated. I think his community college wrestling is not something that can't be overcame. I do think he has great MMA wrestling, but also there's some things where it kind of was like, man, this is the time where Curtis did lose to Francis Ngannou on the UFC Fight Night Beijing card against Francis. I don't know if anyone believes on curses or whatever, but I guess it wasn't. I guess Derek's not fighting him in Beijing, but they're fighting in a similar date, month, like Curtis in November. I don't know, man. Has he ever fought in November since that fight? I don't know, but I think y'all know me. I'm a big Curtis Blaydes hater. I don't hate his style. Like, when I did my breakdown, I had to do like a film study, right? And I watched a lot of his fights. I watched all those fights, and I don't hate him because he's a wrestler. I can't do that, man. I wrestled before. I watched like anyone knows about a wrestling tournament. You're there 6 a.m. in the morning, and you leave like 8 p.m. or 6 p.m. at night. You watch a lot of trash matches. So, I'm okay with watching his, stalling ass self and all his, wrestling or whatever. I got no problem watching that. But, he kind of rubbed me off the wrong way in some of his interviews, and he was just talking mess about Francis Ngannou for some weird reason. At the time. Now I can understand with his coach, Francis's coach, coming out and saying things about Francis. But at the time, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't know, the way he talks, I'm like, bro, shut up. But yeah, this, if you think you disagree with me, I completely understand. I'm not even gonna argue with you. Yeah, you'll win the argument with me. I personally feel like Derek is the savior of the heavyweight dude and needs to get rid of that fool. You know, he beat my boy Volkov, which broke my heart. So yeah, I'm gonna be going Derek Lewis, 4th round TKO, and Curtis gets tired, and he went 0 for 8 on takedowns against Junior Dos Santos. I could go further on, but go watch my breakdown, please. I put on a lot of work onto that. Go watch that. It's probably gonna be coming up like in the next hour or whatever. But yeah, your boy eBay Fight Predictions is done with all his predictions. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Love y'all. Goodbye. Don't forget to follow my my Twitter, my Instagram, and yeah, I'm out. Love y'all and goodbye. Like, comment, and subscribe.